Dear students, in this session we are going to see the databases and SQL. We know that PHP is a server-side scripting language, and the main aim of the server-side scripting language is to provide a database facility. And we are having the front-end design with HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. From that particular front-end side, data is transfer towards the server side for storage facility, and PHP is a particular server side scripting language which provides database facility, and PHP seeks the help of SQL servers like PHP is used to connect with SQL languages like Oracle, MySQL, PostgreSQL, etc. And in this session, we are going to discuss about the introductory session of databases. What are the different concepts dealing with databases, different types of statements, and what are the different commands associated with this statements. This is just an introduction to DBMS. DBMS stands for Database Management System, and it is a technique which is used to add data, update data, as well as delete data on a storage area. And another thing is that the anomalies, all the anomalies in the databases are reduced by specifying some constraints on the corresponding data. And in case of DBMS, data is normally stored in the format of a relation. Relation means data is stored in the format of a table. The same idea. And in DBMS there will be a session called Relational Database Management System, that is RDBMS, for specifying the data or for manipulating the data in the format of a table. We can have a look at the table here. Here the data is arranged in the format of a table. The data is arranged in the format of a table, and each row of the table should be treated as a record in the corresponding table. Then each column of the table should specify an attribute of the corresponding table. So columns are attributes or fields of the corresponding table. These are the properties of the corresponding table, and each row is treated as an example or a sample data for the corresponding table, and it can be termed as a record. And primary key is a particular concept in database management system, and primary key is specified as a constraint in the table. The agenda behind primary key is that it is used for identifying a record uniquely from the corresponding table. So that is a basic convention behind the primary key. It is used for selecting a record uniquely from the corresponding table. Then another integrity constraint that can be mentioned with the table is referential integrity. Referential integrity means it is the concept of introducing a foreign key. The primary key of one table can be associated as the foreign key of another table. The thing is that we are having a master table with some master data, and this data can be referred to some other table, and that reference should be done through the foreign key. So foreign key here means the primary key of one table should act as the foreign key of another table, because we are referring the master table for the corresponding data reference. That's the idea. Hope you know all these things and you studied all these things in the DBMS paper. So here you just remember that DBMS is concentrating on the relational DBMS structure, that is data is stored in the format of a table. Each row of a table is treated as a record, and each column is treated as an attribute. And mainly two constraints are specified in a table: primary key and referential integrity. Primary key means it is an attribute which is used to identify uniquely a record from the table. Referential integrity means we have to add a reference towards a particular data item in one table to the other. That is, primary key of one table can be added as the foreign key to the another table. Now we can see the SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. The database management system, all the things should be handled in the form of statements, and for handling data we need a language called Structured Query Language. In Structured Query Language of DBMS, we are having different types of languages for manipulating the databases, and we are having mainly four types of languages. DDL stands for Data Definition Language, DML, Data Manipulation Language, DCL, Data Control Language, and TCL is Transaction Control Language. So these are the four categories of language that comes under the SQL section. Now we can see the different SQL languages as well as the commands associated with these languages. So SQL commands are categorized into four parts: DDL, that is Data Definition Language; DML, Data Manipulation Language; DCL, Data Control Language; and TCL, that is Transaction Control Language. Now we can see what all things are comes under the DDL. DDL stands for Data Definition Language. It contains statements like expressions like create, alter, drop, truncate, comment, and rename. So create is a command which is used for creating a table in the database. Then alter command is used for altering the structure of the table. Drop command is used for deleting a table. Truncate command is used for truncating the fields in a table. Then comment it is used for providing comments to the table. Then rename is a function by the name itself, it is used for renaming the table structure. Then comes the DML, that is Data Manipulation Language. Data Manipulation Language involves expressions or statements including select statement is used for selecting some attributes from the table, or selecting some rows from the corresponding table. Insert command is used for inserting some data towards the table. Then update expression is used for updating an existing data in the table. Then delete command is used for deleting an attribute or deleting a row from the corresponding table. Merge, it is used for merging new rows as well as columns towards the table, new data towards the table. Then call, explain, plan, log table, these are some rarely used commands that are associated in data manipulation language. So these are the things which is related to data manipulation. And the next category of language is DCL, that is Data Control Language. Grant and revoke are the two commands which are associated with data control language, that is granting some permission and revoking some permission towards the database. These are the two things associated with data control language. In order to keep the data secure, we have to specify the grant permission as well as revoke permissions to the user. That can be done through DCL. And another category of SQL is TCL, that is Transaction Control Language, and it is used for committing the transaction as well as rollbacking the transaction. Using this transaction control language, we can set save points in our database statements, and also we can set the transactions in our databases. So these are the different commands associated with structured query language, and we will see this command one by one. So some commonly used expressions in SQL as well as usage is specified here. Some common SQL statements. The first thing is create database. So if you are starting a particular project, the first thing needed for that particular project is we need a database. For creating a database, we are having the statement create database. Then after that, you have to specify the database name. So this is used for creating a new database. Now for creating a table, or relation in DBMS, we have to specify the statement create table. Then you have to specify the table name. Then you have to in parenthesis you have to specify the field names with its data type. It is used for creating a new table. The next command associated with SQL is insert. Insert command is used for adding new records to the table. So insert into, you have to specify the table name. Then in parenthesis you have to specify towards which field name we are providing the values. That field should be mentioned. Then field 1, field 2, etc. Then values. What should be the value for field 1? That is value 1. The value towards value 2, that is the value towards field 2, likewise. So insert command is used for inserting data into a table. Then the next expression in SQL is update. Update statement, it is used for updating a data item in a table. So update, you have to specify the table name. Set, you have to specify the field name is equal to value 1, comma, you can add multiple, or you can update multiple attributes. Then in order to update the attributes, we can specify a where condition where this update should be happened, in which row this particular thing should be happened. That can be specified in the where clause. So it updates the records with new values. Then another statement is delete statement. So delete from, we have to specify the table name. Then using where clause we can specify a condition. So it is used for deleting records from a table. Then next is the select query. Select field 1 comma field 2. You have to specify which all attributes we needed. That attribute name should be specified here. From, you have to specify the table name. If any condition is there, that condition can be appended using where condition. So it retrieves matching records from a table. The next SQL statement is rename. Rename table name to new table name. So this is the old table name 2, and the second is the new table name. It is used for renaming a table. Then drop table name. So drop command is used for deleting a table from the database. Then drop database name. It is used for deleting a database from the database management system. So these are the common SQL statements that are associated with all the different types of SQLs. Now we can see the most commonly the PHP is connected with MySQL database or Marine database. It is already available with your WAM package or LAM package. In WAM, I already mentioned that W stands for Windows, A stands for Apache Tomcat, M stands for MySQL, and P stands for PHP. So this MySQL is commonly used with PHP, and these are some of the data types which is associated with MySQL. In data type is there, which is used for specifying integer values. Decimal data type is there, which is used for supporting the floating point values. Then date field is there, where date should be represented in YYMMDD format. Then time field is there, which should be represented in HHMMSS format. Then date time is there, which is used for representing the combined date time type, which can be expressed like this: YYYYMMDDHHMMSS. Then year format, which should be represented in either YYYY or YY format. Then timestamp is here, this format YYYYMMDDHHMMSS. Then char is used for representing a character. Then varchar is there, which is of variable. Char is of fixed length, whereas varchar is of variable length. Then text means a string type with a maximum 65,535 characters. Blob is a binary type for variable data, and enum is another data type which is a string type that can accept one value from a list of previously defined possible values. Enum data type. Then set is a string type that can accept more values from a set of previously defined possible values. So these are the most commonly used data types associated with MySQL. Some examples for some of the common SQL statements are here. So in order to start MySQL, you have to take the MySQL prompt. Then for creating a table, you have to specify create expression. So create, the syntax is create table, table name. So here create table, the table name is artist. Then inside the parenthesis you have to specify the different field name, whereas its data type. If any other constraints are there, that should be specified. So create table artist, artist ID info not null, primary key auto increment. So the first field in the artist table is artist ID, which is of integer data type. It should be a not null value. That is, it is this column should not be blank for all the records. Should not be blank for all the records. That is why not null. Then is the primary key. So this particular field is used to identify the records in the corresponding table, and it is set as auto increment. So initially it will be by default, it will start from 1 onwards, and the next line it should be automatically incremented to the next higher value. Likewise. Then the second column, artist name varchar of 50 not null. So second field is dealing with the name of the artist, which can take a maximum of 50 characters. Here also we cannot specify null values. So that should be a must field. Then artist underscore country char of 2 not null. So the third field is artist underscore country field, and it should be represented in 2 characters, and here also a value is must because it's not null field. So after executing this particular statement, a table is created. The name of the table is artist with columns artist ID, artist name, and artist country. Then MySQL insert into artist, artist name comma artist country. So we are trying to insert value towards the artist table, towards the field artist name and artist country. So values are ABBA and IST. Then this is an example for select query. Select artist ID comma artist name from artist where artist country is equal to US. So here we are trying to extract some data from the artist table. We are trying to extract artist ID and artist name for those rows whose artist country is equal to US. So this particular SQL statement extracts all the rows where our country mentioned as US, and it will retrieve the artist ID and artist name whose country is US. Then using equality operators in where condition. So where is a particular clause which can be added with any of the different SQL statements. It is used for mentioning a particular condition. So here we can see that select song title comma FK song rating from songs where FK song rating greater than or equal to 4. So this command gives the idea that we are trying to extract song title and the song rating from songs table whose songs rating data value should be greater than or equal to 4. So we are dealing with songs table, and from the songs table we have to check the song rating column. If the rating is greater than or equal to 4, such type of rows are extracted, and from that rows the song title as well as the song rating should be displayed. So the first thing happened is we have to select all the rows with rating greater than or equal to 4. From that selected rows, we have to select the column song title and song rating that will be displayed. Then using logical operators. So here select artist name, artist country from artist, where artist country is equal to US or artist country is equal to UK. So we can use this logical operators to connect one or more conditions. So here the expression is, we have to select the artist name and artist country from the artist table, where the data values of artist country, where artist country is having the data values US and UK. So this expression will extract the artist name and country from artist table whose country is US or UK. So all the rows which is having, so initially what happened is, all the rows who are having the data artist country is equal to US or artist country is equal to UK will be extracted. From that rows, artist name and artist country column will be displayed. The next command is select song title from songs order by song title. So in this particular select query, we have to select the song title from songs table, where this the song title should be ordered by the field song titles. That means we have to extract the title from songs table, and that should be arranged in a sorted order. So order by is a clause which is used for arranging the data in an increasing or decreasing manner. So by default it is from A to Z or 1 to 10, likewise 1 to 100, likewise in increasing order. So here what happens is, from the songs table the song title will be extracted in ascending order. The next expression, select song title from songs order by song title dis. So here the same command is there, but one more addition, dis. So we have to select the title from songs, song title from songs table, where it should be ordered in descending order. So the title which is having the larger value should appear first, then comes in the decreasing order. Now using wildcards. Wildcards means these are some special characters which is used to extract data from a table, and we are having examples. MySQL, select song ID, song title from songs, where song title like mod G mod. So here the wildcard here used is mode. Mode symbol is the wildcard used here, and this mode symbol stands for some characters. So here this expression means we have to extract the song ID and title from the songs table, where song title like some data, in the middle of that particular data G is there, after G some value is there. That is, from the songs table we have to select the song title with this condition, some data is there, then G is there, and some data is there. Such type of title record should be extracted from the table. From that selected records we have to display the attributes song ID and song title. Then joining tables. So in order to join table we need a common element. That is the main thing. That means a foreign key is needed to join these tables. Foreign key means the primary key of one table should be mentioned in the mentioned as the foreign key for another table. Here we are having a select query. Select song ID, song title, comma artist name from songs, comma artist, where songs.fk song artist is equal to artist.artist ID. So here we are trying to combine two tables, songs and artist table, and what we are going to extract from these two tables is song ID, song title, artist name, and we are trying to join these tables using the field song artist or artist ID. Both of them are having the same data. Song artist or artist ID. So song artist is a field in the songs table and artist ID is a field in the artist table. Both are having the same type of data, and we are trying to combine these two tables using the song artist or artist ID. So what we have to do is we have to check the data values or check the records in songs table as well as artist table, and we are if both of them are matching, having matching records in the field fk underscore song underscore artist or artist id, such type of data will be extracted, and from that extracted data we have to display song id, song title and artist name. The next is for modifying and removing records from a table. In order to modify a record or remove the records from the table, we are having the delete expression as well as update expression. So delete from songs where fk song rating less than or equal to 3, which means that we have to uh, delete the records from songs table whose rating field is having a value which is less than or equal to 3. Such type of records are removed from the song table. Then update expression. So update ratings, set rating name is equal to fantastic where rating name is equal to excellent. So this update expression is used for updating a particular on a particular condition. So here what we are trying to do is we are trying to update the ratings table where the rating name is a field in the corresponding rating table, and we have to specify rating name as fantastic, and the change should be applied to all the records which is having the data value excellent. So excellent is appended with or excellent is replaced with the term fantastic. That is happening here. So all the records in the rating table whose rating name is having the data excellent is replaced with fantastic data. Now we can see how we can connect PHP with the corresponding MySQL database. We already discussed about the different commands that can be used in SQL for creating the relationships, then for altering the relations, for inserting data towards the relations, and how we can select the data from the corresponding relations. Now we will concentrate on the database connectivity. So in this we can see an example code which shows a database connectivity towards MySQL server, and in this database connectivity I am using some dummy connectivity values. So here this is a PHP scripting tag, then $connection is equal to new MySQLi localhost user pass music. So this MySQLi, new MySQLi is a function which is used to establish connection with the database. So MySQLi function should take 4 arguments. First is the server name where this connection should be established. Then second is the user ID towards the database, and third is the password towards the database, and fourth is the name of the database. So this MySQLi is a function which is used for establishing the connection from PHP to MySQLi server. and it takes 4 parameters. First parameter is the server name, second parameter is the user ID, third is the password, and fourth is the database name. So if this particular connection is established, a true value will be present in the connection variable. If connection is established correctly, a true value will be in the connection variable, otherwise it is having a false value. So here localhost is the server name, then user is the user ID, pass is the password, and music is the name of the database. So if this connection is established, this connection variable is having a true value, otherwise it is having a false value. Then the next is a checking condition, whether it is used, this checking condition is used to identify whether the connectivity is established or not. If dollar connection is equal to false, if this variable is false means, if this variable is holding a false value means connection is not established. So if it is false, if this variable is holding a false value, die error could not connect MySQLi connect underscore error. So if if the connection variable is having a false value, then it should try to end up that particular connection by specifying by calling the error message using the function MySQLi connect error. If the connection is having a true value, the rest of the statements will be executed. $SQL is equal to select artist ID, artist name from artist. So this is the query where we are going to establish. So the query is, we have to select the artist ID as well as artist name from the artist table. That is the query that should be executed, and this query, this SQL query, is stored in a variable called SQL. Then we are having another checking condition. If $result is equal to $connection query of $SQL, that is, we are trying to execute the SQL query using the query function and using the connection object CON. So connection object, using the connection object, we are calling the query function and pass the SQL as argument towards the query function. So the SQL query in the SQL variable should be executed. If that particular SQL query is executed, $result is having some value. If this SQL is properly executed and it will retrieve rows from the table, if so, then this $result variable is having some data. Then what we are going to do is, we have to check the result variable. If $result num rows greater than 0, we have to check the result variable. If the result variable is having some data, we have to check whether the number of rows is, if it is having any data in the result variable, the number of rows should be greater than 0. So in order to access the data from the result variable, we are trying to use a while loop to fetch the data from the resultant variable. So here while loop is mentioned, while $row is equal to $result fetch array. So using the fetch array function, we are trying to extract the data from the resultant variable. So if more than one row is there in the result variable, we have to iterate it towards a a while loop. So here what happens is, if this particular query, artist ID, artist name from artist, is executed, and from the artist table 5 rows are selected. For example, if 5 rows are selected, we have to extract this result from the resultant variable. In order to extract this 5 results from the resultant table, we have to use the fetch array function. Then $row is equal to result of fetch array. So what happens initially is, the first row from the resultant variable is extracted, and this first row is having 2 attributes, artist ID as well as artist name. So for displaying artist ID, we have to specify it as $row of 0. So first artist ID will be displayed, then colon $row of 1, that is the corresponding artist name. Artist ID colon artist name will be displayed. In the next iteration, the fetch array function moves to the second data from the resultant array or second row. From the second row, it will display the artist ID. $row of 0 means second row's first data should be extracted and the artist name should be extracted. Likewise, if 5 rows are there, 5 times this while loops will be iterated. After extracting all the rows from the resultant variable, this while loop will be exited. Then the resultant variable is closed using the roller result close function. This arrow is used for accessing a particular function which can be used with that particular variable. So that resultant variable is closed. If that particular if this resultant variable is not having any rows, it should move to the else part and will print a message like this: no records matching your query were found. This type of message will be displayed. If this particular session, if the resultant query is not executed, if our mentioned query is not executed, this else part, if that particular query is executed and there will be no result from the table, then this else part will be displayed: echo error, cannot execute the corresponding command in SQL variable. So that connection error will be displayed. Then after doing this, the connection is closed using the close function. So in this particular program, first we are trying to establish a connection with the database using the MySQLi function. And this MySQLi function should take 4 arguments. First is the server name, second is the user ID, third is the password, and fourth one is the database name. And if that connection is established, the connection variable is having a true value, otherwise it is having a false value. Then if the connection variable is first we have to check whether the connection is a false value. Connection variable is having a false value. If it is so, we have to make or we have to shut down that particular connection. If it is having if the connection variable is having a true value, then we have to specify the SQL statement that should be executed in a particular stored it in a particular variable. Then using the expression, using the connection variable and query function, we are trying to execute the SQL expression, and we have to store the result of that particular query function in a variable called result variable or some other variables. Then next step is we have to check whether the result variable is having any data. If it is no data, we have to display no records matching your query. If it is having some data, then what we have to do, in order to access the resultant data, we have to use a loop for loop and fetch array function to access the data row by row. So if it is having multiple attributes are retrieved from the table, we can fetch by the index position 0 for the first column, and for the second column we can use the index value 1 likewise. And after fetching all the rows from the table, we have to close the resultant variable. Then after that we have to close the connection. If we are not able to execute the query function, an error message should be generated in the else part of that particular if, and after that the connection should be closed. So this is a basic way of this is a simple example for database connectivity. And using this connectivity, we are trying to extract some data from the database. Okay. This is the explanation of previous code. So in order to initialize a database connection, initialize an instance of the MySQLi class and pass the object constructor with 4 arguments. The first argument is the host name of MySQL server. Then second is a valid username. Third is the password. And fourth is the name of the database. Then assuming the connection attempt is successful, then this object instance represents the database connection for all the future operations and exposes methods for querying, fetching, and processing result sets. If the connection attempt is unsuccessful, the object instance will become false. That is, an error message explaining the reason for failure can now be obtained by calling the MySQL underscore connect underscore error function. The next step is to create and execute the SQL query. This is by calling the MySQL objects query method and passing it the query to be executed. If the query was unsuccessful, the method returns a Boolean false value. If the query is successful and returns one or more records, the return value of query method is another object. This one an instance of the MySQL result class. This object represents the result set returned by the query, and it exposes various methods for processing the individual records in the result set. One such method is the fetch array method. Each time fetch array is invoked, it returns the next record in the result set as an array. This makes the fetch array method very suitable for use in a while or for loop. The loop counter determines how many times the loop should run. This value is obtained from the MySQL result object's numRows property, which stores the number of rows returned by the query. Individual fields from the record can be accessed as array elements using either the field index, or we can use the field name, row of 0, like that. Or instead of row of 0, we can specify row of artist ID, row of 1, artist underscore name, likewise. This is an example for specifying instead of the index value, we are fetching the corresponding attribute from the resultant array by specifying the attribute name. So while $row is equal to $result of fetch underscore array. So what happens here, it is the fetch array fetches the first row from the resultant array, and $row should contain the first record in the resultant array, and this row is having two attributes, id attribute and name attribute. So in order to access the id attribute, we can specify like this: $row of artist underscore id colon $row of artist underscore name. In the previous example, it was mentioned as $row of 0 colon $row of 1. Either we can represent it in the form of index value, or we can specify the attribute name itself. Then another method of fetching the data from resultant variable is fetch underscore object method. So fetch underscore object method is another function which is used to extract data from the resultant array. So if you are using fetch underscore object, in order to access the record wise attributes, we have to use $row arrow artist underscore id colon $row arrow artist underscore name, because we are fetching the corresponding resultant we are fetching the resultant value from the database in the format of an object. If you want to access the data from an object, we have to use the corresponding arrow operator. That is why here it is mentioned like this. So at present we are discussing about executing a select query in the database. So in order to add or modify data from PHP towards MySQL, we have to specify that type of SQL expression in the form of that SQL expression should be stored in a variable. Here we are having an insert statement: insert into artist name, artist country, values /India. This data is to be inserted to the artist table. For that, this insert command is specified, or it is stored in a variable called $SQL. Then $connection query of $SQL is equal to true. So we just execute. This type of things are not having any resultant value. So insert query is not having any resultant data. So we can directly execute like this. Using the connection variable, just call query of $SQL and check the value whether it is true. If it is true means new artist is added, otherwise it will generate an error message. So if no return value for an SQL command is there, such type of commands can be directly executed in an if structure. So this is the corresponding example, detailed example. Here a connection variable is established by the MySQL function, and this is the address of server. This is the root ID. This is the password, and this is the database. If this connection variable is equal to false, it produces a message like failed to connect. Otherwise, it is connected. Then if it is connected, the following statements will be executed. Then here is $SQL is a variable which contains an SQL expression like this. Then if $connection query of SQL is equal to true, that is executing this particular SQL statement in the variable SQL. If that thing is executed, new row added message will be produced. Otherwise, error could not execute query. That error message will be generated. After executing that particular statement, the connection will be closed. Now comes the idea of prepared statement. A prepared statement in an SQL query template containing placeholder variables for the values to be inserted or modified. So prepared statement is a kind of statement in SQL where in this particular statement we are having a placeholder for specifying the values for variables. This statement is stored on the database server and invoked as often as needed, with the placeholders replaced with actual values on each execution. It is faster for batch operations that involve running the same SQL query over and over with different values. These are some of the methods which are associated with the MySQL connection. So MySQL underscore statement execute. So this expression or this function is used for executing a prepared query. Then MySQL underscore statement fetch. It is used for fetching results from a prepared statement into the bound variables. Then MySQL underscore statement bind param. It binds variables to the prepared statement as parameters. Then MySQL underscore statement bind result. It binds variables to the prepared statement for result storage. Then MySQL underscore statement close. So it closes a prepared statement. So these are some of the methods which are associated with MySQL. Now we can see the particular method statement underscore bind underscore param. So a string that contains one or more characters which specifies the types for the corresponding bind variables. And here we are having some type specification. The corresponding variable has type integer. D, which represents the corresponding variable, has type double. S, which represents the corresponding variable, has type string. B, which represents the corresponding variable, is a block and will be sent in packets. These are some of the notations that can be associated with statement underscore bind underscore parameter. And this particular function is used for binding variables. Here we are having an example which is related to the prepared statements. So here the first expression is used for establishing a connection with MySQL function. The first argument is the server name, user ID, password, and the database. So here the database name is MCA11 MySQL. So if this connection is established, MySQLi variable is having a true value if MySQLi underscore connect underscore error number. So echo connection failed and it will generate a connection error message. If this particular connection is not established at the same time, this variable is having an error message or false value. So we can access that error using this function MySQL underscore connect underscore error number. Then this corresponding error will be generated. Then otherwise $C is equal to agash. We are creating a variable and assign the value agash towards the corresponding variable. Then $S is equal to select L name from person where F name is equal to question mark. So we have to select L name from person table where F name is passed as an argument towards this particular query. So this type of statements are termed as prepared statement, where the name of variables are passed as arguments towards the SQL expression. So here if dollar statement is equal to MySQL underscore prepare of $S. So we are converting the SQL expression in $S in S variable as a prepared statement. Then statement bind underscore parameter of S comma $C. So we are trying to attach $C as the parameter for SQL expression in the variable S. Then statement execute. So statement is currently having SQL query S with parameter C that will be executed. Then statement bind underscore result $D. After executing that particular query, the result should be bind towards the variable D. Then statement fetch. We are trying to access the result of the corresponding statement. Then echo $C has last name $D. So $C is the first name and $D is currently having the result from the table. So that will be displayed. Then after executing it, the statement dot close means the corresponding SQL query execution of the prepared statement is closed. After that, connection is closed by using MySQL close function. So this is just an example for prepared statements in PHP. Now we can see how we can handle errors. The MySQL objects error property holds the last error message generated by the database server. Then the MySQL objects error number property holds the last error code returned by the database server. So the MySQL object is having a property called error which holds the error number. Then the MySQL underscore connect underscore error function returns the error message generated by the last connection attempt. Then the MySQL connect underscore error number function returns the error code generated by the last failed connection attempt. So this MySQL underscore connect underscore error function is used for specifying the error message that is generated by the last connection attempt. Then MySQL underscore connect underscore error number function returns the error code generated by the last connection attempt. These are some of the error generation functions that can be used in PHP for specifying the database connectivity issues. Hope you understood the connection establishment in PHP. Thank you.